Okay, chapter 1.1, part 4. Pardon my roosters. They're very loud right now. We were looking at James Allen's The Connectors, and the directional line is vertical, somewhat diagonal as well. But the idea here is to give that sense of height. These guys are obviously up high, risking a lot in a dangerous building situation, and that's being conveyed by not only those lines, but also this negative space. But you can see the buildings behind them. That's what they're building, but you can see the danger of it from the open space and that line bringing your eye down so you get a sense of the height. Communicative line, the same thing we were talking about. Now, I will say that graphic design uses it most, and we're going to look at an example of that in a second. But again, if you recall, this is standing, stability, authority. This is passiveness, calm. Think sleeping, you're lying down, yeah. And then diagonal lines communicate movement, action, and drama. I mean, that can be positive or negative. It's just that that's how we're hardwired to assess things out in the world. We also have those visceral responses to color, but we'll get into that later. But there's a lot of things that we have built in as humans that we react to, and these particular line formations in a general way tell us whether there's stability or calmness or action that we need to pay attention to. So our mind will pay more attention to something diagonal, okay? So the Nike logo is a diagonal. This, for some reason, works incredibly well. Very simplified logo. Carolyn Davidson was our designer here in 1971. But you get the sense of the swoopiness, the fastness, the movement. It sort of embodies running, or it embodies, if you look at our Running Man here, it embodies that movement, so we get a sense that things are happening. And for some reason, I mean, even looking at it now, how well I know it, it does seem like, wow, that looks interesting. So it's an innate thing that we react to. So excitement and activity conveys action. We're going to get into Van Gogh a little bit too, and he's going to give us more of the uneven line is what I was trying to look at, because I was trying to organize my thoughts here. But some of this unevenness, and there's an interactive piece that you'll see on Canvas that's kind of interesting about how there's thick lines and thin lines that you can barely see, and that gives a disjointed feeling. And the emphasis on verticals. In a restful place, the emphasis should be on a horizontal, right? But see, there's a diagonal for the bed. That right there tells you things are maybe not right. So he's trying to give you some communication through that use of line. Color as well, but line is what we're talking about right now. So there's some interactive things. I don't have all these videos loaded up. I will work on that. Contour line is another one. I think it's the last one that we get into here. That we see this a lot. So it's the edge or the profile of an object. And it suggests volume because it's giving a sense of what's inside of it. So here's one contour piece by Henri Matisse. A drawing, really beautiful, elegant, simple. Now he has contour and cross contour. So this is a contour line, this edge of her elbow. Does that make sense? So things that are going around the edges of something, that's actually the contour. Cross contour would be the dress a little bit because it's going across the volume. But strict contour is just the edge of an object, the edge of the chair. Sorry. Okay, the other one is Pablo Picasso. And remember, though, it's kind of funny to look at this because this looks like a beginning drawing student's drawing where they don't get the mass of the head correctly. But Picasso could paint in photorealism in that style by the time he was 14, which I believe is like 1905 or something. So here we are some years later, and he's playing around with simplicity of line and simplicity of posture and gesture. So he can do whatever he wants to do. He's one of those people. But what he chooses to do is a simple profile piece here. And we see the contour line here. That's the contour right here. These interior parts, there's kind of a fuzzy spot between contour and cross contour, but strict contours are just the exterior line. This is also true in this piece to a degree. He's got a simplified piece. This is was 15 years earlier, but he's got just this exterior of her hair, sort of a hair shape that's containing all of that texture of that hair. But there's contours around the breasts and the stomach, this piece, and the body. So we have just some basic strokes, you know, implying the roundness. And I think that's it on us. Okay, we're going to go to shape. I'm going to start a new video.